On a cold evening, as the sun was setting, the owner of a popular restaurant chain put on his oldest worn-out clothes and went outside disguised as a homeless man. He headed to one of his own restaurants, deciding to see for himself how his staff treated those less fortunate. They had no idea that their task was to determine who would inherit his vast business, so he decided to conduct a test and discovered something unexpected. Mr. Santiago did not come from wealth. Raised by a single mother who worked for minimum wage, he took on extra jobs to help her. He started washing dishes in a restaurant and eventually became a chef. But he wanted more, so he began attending evening business courses at a local college, and later became his own boss. His first restaurant was small, with a simple menu, but it was excellent and popular. Santiago took out his first bank loan to open a place in Chicago, and from that moment his success soared. His restaurants won awards, top chefs from around the country wanted to work for him, and everything went smoothly since then. He became the most respected restaurateur in the city. But time passed, and Mr. Santiago could no longer manage his restaurants because illness barely let him leave the house. His doctors explained it might be time to settle his affairs, and so he faced a dilemma. Mr. Santiago had no family left. He never met the love of his life despite many women courting him. He had no children either. Who should I leave my estate to? He often wondered. One of his lawyers suggested donating everything to charity, but he wanted to think it over carefully before making a will. He sat at the wide table in his home with a notebook in hand. I will leave the business to those who, like me, fought hard to truly develop it. But how can I figure that out? Should I look at the resumes of the manager and chef? That seems so impersonal, Mr. Santiago thought aloud. Then inspiration struck, and he came up with a plan. He dressed in his oldest clothes and bought a worn used cane. He grew a beard before going to his restaurant. Sir, sorry, you're not allowed here, said a manager. When Mr. Santiago tried to insist, she called security. Fine, you get nothing, he thought, and headed to another of his restaurants called Lure Desert Oils. Go away, old man. Homeless people aren't allowed in this Michelin-starred establishment. After closing, you can look for leftovers in the trash, the director sneered. Wow, I don't have the best staff in the world, he noted to himself as he left. But on the other hand, Mr. Santiago hadn't been involved in hiring for decades. He had a management company handling those matters. Next, he appeared at Cinnamon, a popular bar restaurant among Chicago celebrities. But he was again denied entry. Dude, get out of here. This place has a dress code and is too expensive. You can visit the nearest free cafeteria, snapped a waitress. He was losing hope. Probably none of my employees think everyone deserves friendly treatment, he sadly thought. But Mr. Santiago wanted to try one more place, Bambino. This restaurant looked unusual but resembled his first establishment in his hometown. They served delicious and authentic Italian dishes, which were his favorite. This time, he decided to enter the back room and try the food from there. He knocked on the back door and the chef came out. Can I order food here? I have money to pay, said Mr. Santiago. The chef asked him to wait a few minutes and closed the door. Mr. Santiago was sure the chef would bring the manager and security to kick him out. Fortunately, that didn't happen. The chef opened the door and let him inside. Thank you. What is your name? Mr. Santiago asked. My name is Benjamin Flynn. I am the local chef, replied the man. He led Mr. Santiago to a table near the kitchen. This was a closed part of the restaurant, inaccessible to others. The elderly man thanked him and sat down. They treated him like royalty, and when Mr. Santiago asked for the bill, the chef said he had already paid. Why did you do that? I said I have money. Mr. Santiago pretended to be upset but was actually pleased. Sir, I know you probably saved that money a long time to eat here. The food here is great, but some dishes are a bit overpriced. In my opinion, you should save that money, said Benjamin. You know, many other restaurants didn't let me in. Why did you do it? Asked Mr. Santiago. I accepted you because I know what it's like to be in your position. I was homeless for a long time until a kind person offered me a job many years ago. He taught me to be a chef, Flynn said. I heard this is one of the best places in the city, added Mr. Santiago, wanting to learn more. Yes, it is. Besides, it's the perfect job. I admire the restaurateur who created this place. One day, I plan to open my own place that will please everyone, whether rich or poor, declared the chef. Mr. Santiago was surprised Flynn didn't recognize him, but it must have been because he hadn't seen him in many years. Thank you, young man. You gave me food for thought, he told the chef. Then Mr. Santiago stood up, left some dollar bills on the table, and left. Meanwhile, Flynn waved goodbye to the elderly man and continued working. The gentleman left $1,000 on the table, said one of his waitresses. What? That's impossible, the chef frowned. After the waitress handed him the money, he went outside to try to find the homeless man but was unsuccessful. Then he decided to share the money among his employees. Several months later, he heard about Mr. Santiago's death and was surprised to see his photo on television. A week later, he was even more shocked when Mr. Santiago's lawyer contacted him. The elderly man left him everything, including a short handwritten letter explaining why he chose Flynn as his heir. The letter ended with these words: I hope you will handle the task, to become the most famous restaurateur in the city. Your food is delicious, but now the hardest part begins. Good luck. Dear viewers, what do you think of this story? Please share in the comments. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.